How can you use a longer lens or a longer focal length to capture beautiful, gorgeous cinematic video footage? Well, that's the question I'm going to be trying to answer today. I've noticed myself that in recent years I've been tending to use more wider focal lengths to capture my B-roll. So I wanted to challenge myself to go out. I'm going to take my little girl out to a local park, and the one rule I have for myself is that every shot must be done on a 100mm or longer focal length. I'm hoping to learn a lot more about the type of shots you can achieve with this restriction, what the benefits are, and what is the place of a lens of this type. So enough of the chit chat, let's get to it. So here we are, we've got to Darley Park, that's where we're going to be shooting today. I'm going to be using my old favourite, the GH5, with the Lumix 35 to 100mm lens. This is equivalent of 70 to 200, so I've got to always be mindful of staying over that 100 minimum. We're going to be creative, we're going to get some nice cinematic shots, and let's do it. Come on, Lulu, come with me. So the shot I'm wanting to get now is to open off the sequence, and it's going to be my little girl walking down towards the entrance to the park, and I've got the camera nice and low, and I'm going to start at her feet and just pan up. I think it'll give a nice cinematic look. So my poor little girl tripped up, so she got a bit muddy. We've tried to clean her up a little bit, but we're going to carry on. And I'm going to try and get a shot now of her walking through the walkway close towards me. At such a long focal length, it should naturally look quite cinematic. And the only tough job I've got is to try and keep her in focus as she does it. So let's give it a shot. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get Luciana to walk from behind the hedge and just get a shot of her walking, and all these leaves we've got in the foreground and the fact that the background is moving quite quickly is going to make it quite a dynamic and cinematic shot. So let's do it. If you have to walk on the path though, Lulu, walk on the path. That's it, good girl, go. Okay, so now I'm going to shoot through these leaves here and get a nice little shot of her walking and sitting on that bench that you can see her sat on at the moment. That's it, so if you start off over here and then you just have to walk over to that bench and have a little sit down, okay? So I'm going to get a quick shot of Luciana here. She's just sitting and playing. And there's a lovely, well, there's two trees behind her, yellow and orange, and they're going to look really close behind her, even though they're really quite far, just because of the lens I'm using. And yeah, if I get low to the ground, you should get some foreground blur, and it should look nice and cinematic. So let's do it. There we go, let me come closer and get a few more. Just going to go in for a few close-up shots. Smiling. Smiling a lot. Oh, big smile at Lily. Okay, so this shot is going to be Luciana walking up the hill, and then afterwards I'm going to get a shot of her walking towards me, and they should edit together really nicely. So let's do it. And then you have to walk up here like this. And I want you to look up at the tree all the time, okay? So look at that yellow tree when you walk. Maybe look at the grass sometimes if you want as well. And then look at that yellow tree up there. Is that okay? Okay, Lulu, go! Okay, so what we're going to go for here is I'm going to go really low to the ground. There's a bit of a hill here, so I'm going to have Luciana come and kind of emerge up from the bottom of the frame. It's sort of like a hero type shot, very cinematic. My only thing is I've got to try and make sure I track focus with her, so let's give it a go. Well, I've just got back from my shoot. I'm really happy with some of the shots I've got, but I'm now going to download them on the computer, see them on the big screen, and hope that it's all turned out okay. And at the end of it, stick around because I'm going to come back and discuss some of the lessons that I've learned from this process. The shots that I've found it to be really useful for are where you're trying to isolate your subject. When you're filming with a longer focal length, you're naturally going to get a really good separation between the talent and between the background and any foreground objects. It's often used in films when you want to really draw the viewer's attention to the main star and how they're feeling and their emotions. There's a few shots you would have seen in the sequence, such as when my little girl's walking up the hill. I could focus on her feet and you could just see her progressing up the hill. It's great for little details and little shots like that. Another shot where this type of lens really came into its own was filming somebody walking across the frame. The background moves really quickly, and if there's any foreground elements, they move really quickly as well, so it gives a really nice kind of kinetic energy to your shots. Another area where I feel that a long lens works really well with filmmaking is where you're trying to compress distance. You'll see the shot where my daughter was actually really far away from the yellow and orange trees. However, in the shot, they looked really close behind her, and it was a nice way of cutting out any background elements that I didn't want and just focusing in on her and the nice bits that I wanted to be seen in the shot. One challenge that I wanted to mention is when the subject is moving towards you or away from you. I do think I'm quite good at manually focusing, but I did find when using like a 150mm equivalent, it became really tricky. But the GH5 did a great job with the face tracking. I had the shot wide open with very little room for error, and I was so impressed it managed to track her all the way as she came up the hill. So to round things up, I've really enjoyed today's challenge. I've learned a lot from it. I've learned that while you might have a wide lens as a favourite that you always go to and it gives a lovely look, you might be missing out by not using a longer lens on occasional shots. It does have a particular purpose, it does give a particular look, and it's definitely something I'm going to consider in the future. So let me know what you think. If you've got any questions, pop them below. If you've got any tips or tricks that you know about using a longer lens, then why not share them with everyone in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, if you're enjoying the channel, I have got a new link to a Buy Me a Coffee link. It's just a way that you can support the channel and help me to create more videos more often. Just an option there. And if you've enjoyed it, give us a like, give us a share, make sure you subscribe and ding that bell. And I think that's it. I'll see you on the next video.